Welcome back. In our last class, already we have discussed about the Gupta Empire and Kanishka and Satavahanas in southern India. Not only that, the administrative system of Kusana and Satvahana already have been discussed. After declination of Gupta Empire, the Bakataka rule in southern India was established. In our today's class, two most important kingdom or dynasties to be discussed. One is Bakataka rule in southern India, and second one is the kingdom of Pushyabhuttis or the rule of Harshavardhana. These two important topics are to be discussed in our today's class. So I will discuss one by one of our today's topic. Okay, let us to start. Bakataka rule in southern India. This is the topic Vakataka rule in southern India. And one of the most important factors, all of you will remind that Vakataka rule started or began in the southern India, and another dynasty was ruled at the same time in the northern India. So this is the history of southern and northern Indian. Okay. Now you see the as you know the at the time of Gupta rule began in the northern India. That is very well known to us. The Bakataka had come to power in the Deccan. Around 225, the Bakataka had emerged as a considerable power by the time the Satvahana dynasty had declined. In the 4th and 5th centuries AD, the Bhakataka ruled over a large area of Deccan and western part of India. Prabhavati Gupta, the daughter of Chandragupta II, was married of, to the Bhakataka king Rudrasena. Consequently, there was an extension of Gupta influence in the Deccan as well as. After the death of Rudrasena II, it was Queen Prabhavati Gupta who ruled over the Bhagataka. Meanwhile, Pallava were continually increasing in strength in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is another part of Deccan. Around 7th century and AD, the Pallavas and Chalukya emerged as a principal power in southern India. Keep in mind that Pallavas of south are different from the Pallavas are was there. And the Gupta administration, Gupta and Vakataka administration, obviously you know, in between 300 AD to 600, the politics and administration of the Indian subcontinent witnessed certain remarkable changes. The monarchical power or monarchical rule had spread over the entire subcontinent, and non monarchical powers had virtually ceased to exist. In already we have come to know that in Gupta administration, the emperor was absolute. They assumed magnificent titles of indicate their might or power. The the Bhagavata king, on the other hand, only used the title of Maharaja. Many of Gupta emperors performed jajanas that already have been discussed in our early classes. In our administrative systems, the Gupta emperors, like Kushanas, compared themselves with gods. That already I have told you. The Gupta empire was divided into a number of provinces. These provinces are known as Bhukti, or that is Magadha Bhukti. Instead of Bhukti, the use of term Desha was prevalent in the western part of Gupta Empire. Under the Bhakataka rule, the provinces are known as Rajya or kingdom. Provincial ruler are known as Senapati. The districts which were smaller than the provinces were known as Vishya under the Guptas. But under Bhakataka rule, the term Patta or Ahar was used to denote districts. And this was the administrative system of Gupta and Bhakataka kingdoms, dynasties. After the Guptas, there were no large empire in 7th century AD. Harshavardhana of Pushyavati dynasty took the initiative of building an empire. Initially, the Pushyavatis were rulers of the Thanissar. The power began to go from the time of uh, Prabhakar Vardhana, who died in 605 AD. Thereafter, his eldest son Rajyavardhana became the ruler. Meanwhile, Gruhavarma, the king of Kanauj, was killed in Kanauj Malwa conflicts. He was married to Rajyasri, the daughter of Prabhakar Vardhana. Rajyavardhana then waged a war against Malwa. The king Shashanka of Gaur, that is Bengal, who assisted Devagupta, the king of Malwa, in the battle against Rajyavardhana, killed the latter. Thereafter, Harsha assumed control over both Kanauj and Thanissar. The calculation of Harsha era, that is Harshabda, began from 606 AD, the year when Harsha had ascended the throne. The important factor of this Pushyavati dynasty is at the period of Harshavardhana. Okay, in the royal history, in the contemporary royal history, we come to know that Harshavardhana fought against so many powers, and Harsha had assumed the title Magadha Raja after his victory over Magadha. In the Aihal Prashasti, which was created by Ravi Kirti, the court poet of Pulkesin II, there is clearly recorded that the word Harsha's myth or happiness had been totally destroyed. Despite of launching many military campaigns, all the campaigns of Harsha are not successful. Harsha has been referred to as Shakalottara Pathanatha. In the reality, Harsha did not control all the North India. However, Harshavardhana is known as the last great monarch in North India, and he had taken the title of Shiladitya. Harshavardhana himself was the main pillar of his administration. Obviously, a council of ministers assisted him. Responsibilities were also assigned to Amatas. And 1/6 of harvested crops were taxed. Merchants had also had to pay revenue. Revenue-free land was granted to the religious organizations. The structure of provincial administration under Harsha was similar to the Gupta periods. Probably a council of ministers assisted the king. The district provinces were governed by samantas or some chosen representative of the king. Each of the province or bhukti was divided into Vishwa or district. The villages formed the lowest unit of administration. Pushyavati rule ended with the death of Harshavardhana. Many small rulers seized different parts of Harsha's kingdom. And that was the history of Pushyavati dynasties.